thing to you, then I don't know what to tell you, because we also supposed to have palms. And guess what? During this time frame of the year, palms are outside everywhere. But that's a whole nother thing. Let's get directly to Passover. In the month of Xanthicus, which is called by us Nisan, as is the beginning of our year on the 14th day of the lunar month, when the sun is in Aries. For in this month it was that we were delivered from bondage under the Egyptians. The law ordains that we should every year slay the sacrifice which is before told you we slew when we came out of Egypt, and which was called the Passover.
Yep.
And we do celebrate this Passover in companies, leaving nothing that we sacrificed until the following. The Feast of Unleavened Bread succeeds that Passover and falls on the 15th day of the month and continues 7 days, wherein they feed on unleavened bread, every one which day 2 bulls are killed, 1 ram, 7 lambs. Now these lambs are entirely burnt, so he goes into the details of the sacrifice. I wanted to show you all this specifically because all you have to do is go to an ephemeris, all right? 2025 ephemeris, moon in Aries. So if you don't know what an ephemeris is, ephemerises are for astronomy, not for astrology. You can't use it for astrology, but it's used for astronomy. Now, one of the coldest men that's ever wrote an ephemeris that we know of, please don't worry about these signs. These are just the symbols of what the constellations and the planets are.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
And there's nothing wrong with that. And these are the degrees that the sun and the moon are from these constellations. So our elders taught us how to write out ephemerises, all right? They taught us how to look at information and say, okay, yes, sir.
Can you
Sure can.
this with Job 9 and 9?
The book of Job, chapter 9, KJV, Blue Letter Bible. Job, chapter 9, KJV, Blue Letter Bible. Job chapter 9, and we're going to go down to the 9th verse, and it reads, which maketh Arcturus.
Start up.
Yeah, sure. Let's start at verse, which commanded the sun.
Right? Because we're trying to figure out, it's one to say, oh, man, y'all can't be dealing with the stars. Oh, with God. Well, let's see what our ancestors said, right? And let's just deal with clear biblical prophetic scholarship.
Amen. Job chapter 9, verse 6. Which shaketh the earth out of her place, and the pillars thereof tremble, which commandeth the sun, and it riseth not, and sealeth up the stars, which alone spreadeth out the heaven, and treadeth upon the waves of the sea, which maketh Arcturus, Orion, and Pleiades, and the chambers of the south.
Which did what?
Which maketh Arcturus, Orion, Pleiades, and the chambers of the south.
I mean, this is clear and cut. One would bring up the Orion's belt.
What would they have to say about it?
It's pagan. We can't deal with the Orion's
Oh, these Negroes is ridiculous.
The stars are upon the Orion's belt. What's that star Orion? Who is Orion? Oh, we can't deal with Orion.
Oh, these Negroes is ridiculous.
But yet this is in the Bible.
Yeah. And not only is this in the Bible, it's not the only place it's in the Bible. You Negroes better know that the word zodiac is also in the Bible.
Bring it out.
All right. So for all of you brothers, man, that does have a problem, has an issue with understanding what the Most High said, in the original synagogues that the children of Israel had in the 1st century, not only do we have zodiacs, the zodiac represents the constellations. All right, Orion right here we see is a masculine. All right, and you can see Orion if you go outside right now, any day, any day. All right. Woo. So the legend of Orion is supposed to be he was supposed to be bound in the stars, but when you look at Arcturus, let me show you this right here. This is Job chapter 38, right? So right. Job chapter 38 says the same thing. Job 9 and 38. He says, "Canst thou bind the sweet influences of Pleiades?" Now that might sound strange, but watch this, y'all. Pleiades is a constellation. This is astronomy. Hold on. Booyah. Pleiades is a constellation. So what do you Negroes mean? This is Taurus the bull. Woo. What are you talking about?
Dang, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
That's May.
Hold on. It gets better. Or loose the bands of Orion. So you have Pleiades the constellation. You have Orion the constellation. Hold on. Canst thou bring forth, what is this word right here? Mazaroth in its season. Or canst thou guard, here go again, Arcturus. Hold on. What is, I said Arctur. What is Mazaroth? This is gonna be fun, man. Check this out. So no, you brothers are very immature in your understanding because the word Mazzaroth, Taurus, the bull, the 7 stars that are in the tail of a Taurus are all right here in the Bible. The word Mazzaroth, the 12 signs of the zodiac, and their 36 associated constellations. What are you Negroes talking about? What are you talking about? Gemini, Taurus, Leo, Capricorn, Cancer. Woo! These are not. Hold on, man.
Bring it out, man. Come on, man.
First century zodiac synagogue images. Stop it. This is the Israel. This is our synagogue when Negroes were still black on the floors, and these are the zodiacs. Stop it. Our forefathers, Abraham. Who do you think taught the Egyptians? Abraham taught the Egyptians. You want to read that next? What's up, brother? What you got? You about to say something?
Nah, call along, man.
Okay, come.
Bring it out.
All right.
You know what I mean? This the information, man.
7 sons, 7 daughters of Taurus's tails. My bad, I'm listening to you.
Nah, you good. Bring it out. I'm
all
a Taurus, too, so I'm trying.
Oh, you a Taurus? Yeah, oh, man, yeah, you writing the Bible all day, brother. Yeah, so these are the 7 sisters of the constellation of Taurus, all right? All right, here, let me bring up. So I like astronomy. I'm very much into astronomy. I'm very. I had a brother call me a.
Since we need a part of this in the school.
It don't matter. How could you Negroes not be into astronomy? You want to try to tell me when new moon is? You don't even know the 8 phases of the moon.
Bring it up.
You can't tell me nothing if you can't show me. So the reality of it is a lot of these brothers just dead wrong, showing the wrong days for waxing crescent, the wrong days for full moon, the wrong days for new moon, and then don't even believe in the zodiacs, and it's written right there in the book of Job. This means that you haven't taken time to study not only the constellations, but the Hebrew. You haven't taken time to study the Hebrew words of it. Wait a minute, let's do another one. Hold on, let's do one even better. Let's do one even better. Flavius Josephus, Antiquities of the Jews, Moses, Menorah. All right, so we're going to go to the high priest garment. We're going to go to the priest garments. All right, nope, we don't want none of those videos. We want to read. All right, Moses went book 3. Nope. Joshua commanded the Hebrews, Canaanites, Antiquities of the Jews, Joseph. Hold on, let me do something different. Flavius Josephus, Antiquities of the Jews, the priest garments. All right. We're getting close. We're getting warmer. We here. So he showed them the piece of garment. No, for I will cut out. No, that's King David. Maccabees, Antiquities. I need my book, man. These are the particular garments of the peculiar garments of the priest. All right. Let's see what Moses and the Levite Josephus says about the constellations and about the high priest. Okay. All right. So this is going to take a little bit of footwork, but we're going to do a little bit of homework. All right. So when he was Canaan, how God overthrew the nation of the Sodomites. This is how you know that you read, right? When you can read through the table of context and be like, oh yeah, that's what that is, okay? All right, so how Joseph, so it was after Joseph's slavery, the death of Joseph. All right. And listen, we're telling you all, get this book because you're going to find all this information here. How Raguel suggests to Moses, set his people apart. Moses ascended concerning the garments of the priest. All praise Yahweh. Concerning the garments of the priest and the high priest. Now watch this, because we still on constellations and zodiacs, right? So these were the peculiar garments of the priest. All right, we see beautiful things. I'm gonna start off real quick. We're gonna go to the constellations. Only over these, he put a color of blue. All right. Let's scroll down. The priest Mitri. All right, the priest Mitre. All right, so the high priest had a plant on his crown that looked like a cannabis plant. Okay, in case you all didn't know. All right, this herb is oftentimes in tallness about 3 spans. If you don't know about the cannabis plant and didn't know how it was on a high priest crown, here you have it. But we're gonna scroll down just a little more. All right, everybody ready for this? When Moses,
and this is on the Blue Letter Bible.
No, this is in the book of Flavius Josephus.
Salakia.
Yeah, this is in Flavius Josephus, Antiquities of the Jews. This book is over 3,000 years old. This book is 1,200, I don't know, dummy old, right? Con. First century, 5th century, right? Old. All right, so I'm going to skip the part about how this plant represents the cannabis plant on a high priest crown, right? But let's look at this. Moreover, one may wonder at the ill will which men bear to us, which they profess to bear on the account of that deity which they pretend to honor. So they say that they reverence God, but they really don't. The other nations. Watch this. When Moses distinguished the tabernacle into how many parts? 3 parts, and allowed them and allowed two of them to the priest as a place accessible and common. He denoted, watch this, the land and the sea being of general access to all, but he set apart the third division of God because it was inaccessible to men. So real quick, the tabernacle of Yahweh had three specific sections, and one section you could not enter into. Now this is still going into astronomy. We want you to see this because we didn't know this, right? But now you're gonna learn. So for all you Hebrew Israelites, that now it's not astrology, astronomy, not astrology, astronomy is what we have. Watch this. All right. And he ordered, look at this, 12 loaves to be set on the table. He denoted the year as distinguished in so many months. 12 months in a year, right? 12 loaves on the table. By branching out the candlestick. What's the candlestick, everybody? The menorah. By branching out the menorah into 70 parts. What do you mean? I thought the menorah only had 7 branches. It's got 7 branches and it's got subsections because the Most High said a branch and a knop, a bowl, its flowers, an almond. So each one of those are actually broken down. That's why you got to study Torah. You got to study the Torah. Watch this. By branch, dang, y'all just passed gas, man. I'm so sorry, brother. Yeah, and oh man, we need a fan. By branching out the candlestick into 70 parts, he secretly imitated the decanai. Have you ever heard of the decanai? Guess what the decanai is? The decanai is the number of the subsections of the constellations. I'm so apologetic for Yaya, bro. I'm not just sitting outside, man. All right. So he secretly imitated the decanai. Look at this, or 70 divisions of the planets. Yeah. So the menorah isn't just a candle of light. It actually represents it's called an auxiliary. It's called an auxiliary globe. The menorah is actually an auxiliary globe. So when I told y'all earlier that it spinned in a circle, it had 3 branches, and those 3 branches could turn. And each one of those 3 branches had subsections. And it represented what? The planets as to the 7 lamps upon the candlesticks. They refer to the courses of the planets, of which that is the number. See? The vials too, which were composed of 4 things, they declared the 4 elements. All right, so we'll stop right there. So looking at the branching out of the menorah, now here's the word that you look at, because this is the word that you haven't seen yet. Look up the word decanai of the constellations. You want to look this word up, and then you'll find out that the menorah and the planets, they all go together. All right, we're going to take one step back and go back to Job, because we didn't get to finish that. Job is super dope. All right, so the book of Job, we have the word Pleiades, all right, the constellation of Orion. So I don't know what's wrong with these brews. I don't know what's wrong with them. We love you, but you brothers are omitting information. Yeah. You're omitting information because you're scared, because you can't explain the daggone zodiac. You're scared because you can't explain the 36 associated constellations, which are what? Gemini, Taurus, Virgo, Pleiades. What else? We have Cancer. All of these are the biblical constellational signs that was written before our time, okay? So there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it, Yashala. We just don't use these for sorcery. Hold that thought. This is the last one, and you're going to really like this. St. John of Damascus, book number 2, chapter 7, light, fire, luminaries. You're going to like this, okay? Everybody should be able to see this. All right, throw out if everybody rocking with it. Tell me light and fire are in 2 different categories? Light, not want to learn, right? So when I come to somebody and I'm telling them waxing crescent is not new moon, your elder is wrong. Full moon is not new moon. The reason why we're saying that is because Daniel knew this. Daniel was the man who taught the Magi. Who do you think taught the men who went and sought out Yahushai when they brought frankincense? That was Daniel's mans. Daniel taught them centuries before Yahushai was even born. The Magi was trained by Daniel to look out for a certain star called Bethua, and it was the symbol of the bear. And guess what? It moved. Constellation stars don't do that, but Daniel knew this. So this is why we study. So when it comes time to teach, we can tell you it's okay to understand the zodiac. It's okay for you to go to the book of Job. Don't be omitting information. It just means you got to level up, grow up, and be able to explain what you're reading. You elders that do the opposite of this, I understand because you're afraid. You don't want to be ashamed and abased. You don't want to make yourself look stupid. But I'd rather look stupid for Yahweh than look stupid for the world. Let's get this real quick. I'm going to yield the floor on this. All right. The circle of the zodiac has an oblique motion. This is the same word that's Mazaraf. Mazaraf. This is the same word that's in Job chapter 38. And you can find the constellations also in Job chapter 9. Both of them. You can't miss it. The circle of the zodiac has an oblique motion and is divided into 12 sections called zodiac or signs. Each sign has three divisions of 10. Wait a minute, 39 divisions. This is the same thing Flavius Josephus said.
Uh-oh.
So now we have a problem. The problem is that you have to put aside what you thought you didn't want to deal with and pick it up because King Solomon said, be ignorant of no thing. I don't like counting. Numbers go different directions in my head. I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, but the time I say it, my brain says 4, 3, 8 with 2 and my brain will say holy. I can't help it. It's like a person has a speech impediment or a stutter. Numbers go backwards in my head, but guess what the Most High said? He said, be ignorant of no thing. Guess what I had to do? I had to go back to school. I had to go back and learn numbers because the Bible said, be ignorant of no thing.
Something.
No thing.
All things.
No thing.
There you go.
The Bible says, be ignorant of no things. All right? So watch this. So a full circle of the zodiac has an oblique motion and is divided into 12 sections called the zodiac or signs. Each sign has three divisions of 10, i.e. 30 divisions, and each division has 60 very minute subdivisions. The heavens therefore has 365 degrees in the hemisphere above the earth and that below the earth, and each having 180 degrees. And then it says the abodes of the planet, the ram and the scorpion, the abode of Mars, the bull and the scales of Venus. So the abode of your constellation would be Venus. All right. The twins, the virgin of Mercury, the crab of the moon, the lion of the sun, the archer of the fish of Jupiter, Capricorn, Aquarius of Saturn. And then it teaches you their altitudes. Listen, phases of the moon.
Absolutely.
Watch this. The moon has been bright for 3 days. If not 4, listen, we are not supposed to have a full moon for 3 days straight. 4 days straight. That's not normal. So when my brother called me what do you call him? He called me a prognosticator of times. My brother said, you a prognosticator of times. I said, damn, bro. I wish you wouldn't have thought that about me. Shit broke my heart, man. Nigga called me a witch, man. He called me a witch.
Damn.
Yeah, that's what I was like, yeah, I did that too. I was like, damn, for real. It's like, damn, just my own people beating me down. Now I knew at the time Job 8. I didn't know Job 9 until today.
Really? Allah Yahweh. He went in like he knew exactly what Job 9 was. Yeah, man, let me get this. Call